A very good evening to all my dear students. Welcome for today's class, the third lesson for Management and Administration. Good evening, Neeta, Navneet, Sham, all those who have sent beautiful wishes, Shamni Sharma, Linga, Anubhav Malek, a very warm welcome to the class, students. I hope you have revised what we have done in the previous class. Prajapati has raised his hand. You want to ask anything, Prajapati? Yes, you can type down in the Miss Prajapati. You want to ask something? So I hope you all have revised what we have done in the previous class and everyone is geared up for today's session. So today we'll be completing the basic details about your MGT chapter that we have started. And day after tomorrow, we'll be winding up this chapter. All right. A very warm welcome to all of you. Prakhar, Pooja B, good evening, child, Indrani, Prerna, Adil Khan, everyone. And all the students who have joined with us on the portal also. Welcome to the class, students. So any doubts still here? Because today we'll be doing very, very interesting topics. Like in the previous class, we did so many rules and regulations related to AGM, EGM. Today we'll be having number of questions related to them. And today's concept is very, very interesting. We'll be sending notices for having the meetings, like the notice we used to send and discussed earlier also when we used to have the notice for your announcements to be made in your school days, college days. We always send a notice. Similarly, we send a notice over here in meetings also. So how the chairman is appointed, how the meetings will be convened, all these details we are going to understand in today's session. So we have already done about registers, MGT 2, 3, 1, all these forms are also seen. Then we did section 89 and 90 where we understood about the beneficial owners in trust and there was significant beneficial owner also. Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of SBO, significant beneficial owners, in the chat box? What is the meaning of significant beneficial owner? One is a registered owner. If I am a registered owner, I have decided to give my benefits and rights of the shares to somebody else. And that beneficial owner is holding directly or indirectly more than 10% of the voting powers. Okay, Ria would like to answer this one. Yes, Miss Ria. Anybody would like to raise their hands and answer who is a significant beneficial owner? None of you? Okay, you've written in the chat box. That's great.
An individual alone or together, indirectly or directly, through one or more person or trust.
So you can briefly tell me how much of the shareholding you should be having, Ria? 20%, 10% or 25%?
More than 10%
Yes.
shares, directly or indirectly. And voting right also more than 10% directly or indirectly.
And by rate of dividend also, the entitlement of distributable dividend should also not be less than 10%. So you use the word more than 10%. It is written not less than 10%. So will you qualify for SBO if you're holding 10% of the voting rights?
No.
Tell me. Yes, Ria?
Yes.
Yes. So it should be 10 or more than 10. Because it's written not less than 10%. 10 से नीचे नहीं होना चाहिए means 10 या 10 से ज़्यादा. Excellent, Ria. Well done. And all those others who have written the answer, Anubhav, Malek, Shamdi, Linga, Adil, Prerna, Prajapati, everybody has. Okay, Prajapati, not a problem. Everybody has given the correct answer. Linga R, good evening, child. I hope you have understood this point. Very good, Shamdi Sharma. After that, we did annual return section 92. We have done MGT 7, MGT 7A. There was a form MGT 8 to be given by CS in practice. And within how many days the annual return should have been filed with the ROC? Let me see the correct answers. Within how many days the annual return should be filed? Savya, Riya, Linga. Navneet, 30 days is the wrong answer. 60 days was the correct answer. From what? Kuldeep, 60 days from what? Shamli, good. Jaya Manocha, Adil, excellent. 60 days of holding. The Ankit, Aditya, S, absolutely correct. Amar Singh, Savya, Prerna, date of AGM. Theoswami, Prakhar, Kuldeep Nagar, excellent. Everybody has given the correct answer. 60 days of AGM. And if AGM was not held, Chetra C, excellent. So Chetra, if AGM was not held, then 60 days from the date when it was supposed to be held. Very good, Manisha R. So many students giving correct answers. That's wonderful. That means you've revised your work, and this is a very important topic, annual return. After that, section 93, 94 was done. 95 was simple section. 96 was about AGM. When should the first AGM be held? When should the first AGM be held? Within 6 months, 12 months, 9 months, or 8 months? And from what date? Absolutely correct. From the 9 months from the first financial year. Here we have to remember what is the definition of financial year. When it is ending on 31st March, we have to calculate 9 months from that financial year. So if the company was incorporated on 15th January 2023, by what latest date the AGM should be held if the company is incorporated on 15th January 2023? So the year end will be 31st March 2024. Absolutely correct, because it is the company incorporated on and after 1st January. So within 9 months from this is 31st December 2024. Latest by this date, the AGM should be held. Very nice answers. Everyone has given the correct answer. That's wonderful. Okay, then from AGM, I want to ask you another question. If any default is made and the company is not holding AGM, does the tribunal has the power to call an AGM? Yes, ma'am. Tribunal has the power under section 97. Only one person came for that meeting. Can he constitute the quorum for the meeting? Yes or no under section 97? Yes, he can constitute a quorum because even a single person. So today we'll be understanding all these words, quorum, proxy, ये क्या होता है. 98 में EGM की power है tribunal के पास call करने की meeting, and 99 simply talked about penalties. Now we are going to do the pre-requirements of the meeting, but we have also done section 100 in the previous class. That was about extraordinary general meeting. So I told you board will call the EGM, and board at the requisition of how many people can call the meeting. So please tell me on the requisition of, in case a company is having a share capital, then what should be the shareholding? At least 1/10 of the paid up share capital. Very good. More than 10% of the shares if the person is holding. Yes, very good. Prajapati, excellent. Adil Khan, well done everyone. P. Mujahid, nice. And if the company is not having share capital, at least having 1/10 of the total voting power. Absolutely correct. If the people on the request of them, the meeting will be called. Within how many days the EGM should be held? Minimum 21 days notice should be sent after 21 days and maximum within 45 days of receiving the valid requisition. So there was a cap of 21 to 45 days के अंदर meeting हो जानी चाहिए. And if this meeting is not convened by board in this time period, then what will happen? Anybody would like to raise their hand and answer me. Then requisitions will call the meeting within how much time period? Very good, Prerna. Being very quick. Within 3 months of the date of requisition. Excellent, Ria, everybody. Excellent, Anubhav. So within 3 months, the meeting shall be called from the date of requisition, and all the expenditures that they have incurred will be deducted from the salary of directors because they were liable to hold this meeting. After that, we have discussed about the notice date, time and place to be given for AGM, which I told you when we'll do the topic notice, we will understand about 21 clear days and all these details in today's class. If the meeting is not convened, requisitions have the right to list the number of members, registered members, on the 21st day from the date of requisition before the expiry of 45 days of the date of receipt. So whosoever is a member on these days will be sent the notice and they all will be invited for the meeting. And all the persons whose name appear within 3 days of the valid requisition, they can be invited for the meeting. Everyone is clear till section 100. So shall we start a new section 101 of the Companies Act? So you have been doing so many sections with me in the last few days. And now we have starting section 101. The in-between sections of deposits and registration of charges will be taken up in the coming weeks. So 101 talks about notice of a meeting. In order to call a meeting, a 21 days clear notice has to be sent. I told you the notice can either be sent electronically or in writing. So I can either post it by an email I can send, or I can send you by speed post, or I can courier the physical copy of the notice. 21 clear days. What is the meaning of 21 clear days? 21 clear days means the date on which the notice is served and the date of meeting are to be excluded. So if I'm sending the notice on 1st October, it should be maximum received by 23. So 21 days इसके बीच का है, second से लेकर 22 अगर आप काउंट करोगे तो ये full fledged 21 days आएंगे. First and 23rd को हमने छोड़ दिया. So 21 clear days means the date on which the notice is served, first को छोड़ दो. And date 23 को छोड़ दिया तो 22, 23, 24, 25 से लेकर 22 तक गिन लो, पूरे 21 days बनते. And it says at least 21 days. जरूरी नहीं है 21 days, मतलब उससे पहले भेजा होना चाहिए. So if I have sent you a notice on 1st October, okay, let's change the date. On 3rd November, for the meeting to be convened on 3rd December, is it a valid notice? Yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am? Yes, ma'am. You have given more than 21 days. It's absolutely fine. Right? Everybody says yes. For 3rd November, notice has been sent for the meeting to be convened on 3rd December. Absolutely correct. If I have sent you the notice on 3rd November for the meeting to be convened on 20th November, is it a valid notice? Yes or no? And the reason. Yes, absolutely correct. No is the correct answer because at least 21 days notice should have been given. Very good. It is less than 21 days, so it will be not justified. Now, if I want to make this justified, so next topic says, a general meeting may be called giving shorter notice also. So अगर हमने इसको justify करना है, आपने बोला मैम ठीक है notice 21 days से कम है तो ये नहीं चले. But if it is an AGM and 95% of the members who are entitled to vote, and in case of any other race, Okay, so first is the case of AGM. If 95% of the members who are entitled to vote agree that we are okay with the shorter notice, then yes, ma'am, we can go for this shorter notice of 16 days also. आपने 21 क्लियर डेज देना था, आपने 16-17 दिन पहले नोटिस दिया, आपने मीटिंग कॉल करनी थी. 95% of the shareholders who are entitled to vote have given their consent, then it's okay. And if it is the case of EGM, any other case means ये वाला AGM के केस में हमें बेटा चाहिए 95% of the members who are entitled to vote. EGM के केस में again AGM के केस में company having share capital, company not having share capital. Not having share capital to 95% of the total entitlement of voting powers. Having share capital, majority in members and the members holding not less than 95%. Now, here it has two conditions. Here it has two conditions. एक एक करके समझते हैं. अगर तो मैम AGM का केस तो क्लियर कट है, at least 95% of the members who are entitled to vote, 95% of the voting right वाला चल जाएगा. ठीक है, अगर उन्होंने नोटिस दिया. In case of AGM, there are two cases. One is company having share capital. Another is company not having share capital. Not having share capital में क्या लिखूं? Simple है. 95% of the voting rights चल जाएगा. Is it right? 95% of the voting rights वालों ने अगर हामी भर दी कि yes, we have no problem for the shorter notice, then it is fine. But if it is a company having share capital, then at least majority of the members and का मतलब 95% of the shareholding, दोनों conditions देखी जाएगी. उसमें तो 95% of the voting rights चल गया, AGM में भी चल गया. EGM के केस में company having share capital, majority of the members should say yes plus 95% of the share. Means, for example, if the number of members of the company were 200 and 80 members holding 98% of the share capital said yes for the meeting, yes for shorter notice. Is it valid, students? Yes or no? Is it valid? All those who said no, why? 95% से ज्यादा चाहिए था भाई, 98% दे रहे हैं. क्यों valid नहीं है? What's the reason? Wow, today everyone wala chat box is also working. That's great. Ashilesha, excellent. Yes, Yumi, very good, everybody. Adil Khan says yes, everybody has said no. That's correct. No is the correct answer. So the chat box where everyone is written it's working, please preferably write their own. Very good, Prakhar, because majority will be 100. So if 100 members holding 95% of shareholding agrees, then only it is a valid. At least 100 members, because 200 का majority क्या होगा? 100 more than 100, majority of the members. 100 or more than 100 members will agree, then only it will sufficiently work. Absolutely correct. So no is the correct answer. Understood, everyone? So 2 points over here. Number one, is the members should be having 21 clear days notice is required. Number two is if it's a AGM, shorter notice will be valid for 95% of the share voting rights. If it is EGM, then majority and 95% of company having share capital, not having share capital, then 95% will be sufficient. Now, Rule 18 tells us, Section 101 में rules भी दिए हुए हैं. Rule 18 of Companies Act tells us about sending the notice through electronic mode. Examiner once gave a 3 marks direct question. What are the rules relating to sending the notice of electronic mode? Notice भेजने के भी rules होते हैं. मतलब what rules will be sufficient if you are sending the notice by the electronic. So it says electronic mode means any communication. First of all, we can send the notice through electronic modes. It is a statutorily recognized means legally allowed है. Law में लिखा गया है कि आप notice फेसबुक पे मैसेंजर में भेज दो, किसी तरीके से भी भेज दो, आपने इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली भेज दिया तो मान लिया जाएगा कि आपने नोटिस भेज दिया. व्हाट्सएप में भी भेज सकते. क्या होता है इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड का मीनिंग? एनी कम्युनिकेशन डन थ्रू सिक्योर्ड कंप्यूटर प्रोग्राम which is capable of producing confirmation and record of such communication addressed to the person who is entitled at the email address. ये कह रहे हो कि आप मेल पे भेजो, ठीक है, हमको इसमें मानेंगे लास्ट इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मेल एड्रेस. सो इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली का मतलब होता है कि आपने मेल के थ्रू, ईमेल्स के थ्रू आपको जो भी एड्रेस दिया गया, मेंबर ने दिया है, उस मेल पे आपने उसको मैसेज भेज दिया. Notice can be sent through email as a text or as an attachment, providing electronic link, uniform resource locator for accessing such notice. You can also provide a link that you can click this link and the notice will be provided, or an attachment can also be given in the email. Email should be addressed to the person as per the records of the depository. What is the meaning of depository? So I told you nowadays we don't have we don't have physical copies. We have the DMAT form shares. And when you are issued DMAT forms, the online physical copies are not there. Online share certificates, once they're issued, then your name, when you become the depository of that, you become the member. So the records of the depository means all the DMAT shareholders, their records are maintained in the register of the depository. So they have already kept, remember in registers, MGT1, I told you email addresses, name, PAN number, all these details are taken. So here your email address, which is registered, will be entered over here. Company shall provide an advance opportunity at least once in a financial year to register the email address and any changes made there. कंपनी ना आपको कहेगी कि आप एक बार साल में अपना ईमेल एड्रेस, अगर सपोज आपने ईमेल एड्रेस चेंज कर दिया, आपकी ईमेल बहुत फुल हो गई, आपने न्यू ईमेल एड्रेस बना दिया, सो वंस इन अ फाइनेंशियल ईयर कंपनी विल गिव यू एन अपॉर्चुनिटी कि प्लीज चेक इफ देयर आर एनी चेंजेस एंड यू कैन रजिस्टर योर ईमेल एड्रेस, एंड सच रिक्वेस्ट मे बी मेड by only those members who have not given their email ID recorded or they want to update a fresh email. So अगर आपने नहीं दिया रिकॉर्ड तो आपको मौका मिलेगा, and if you want to make any changes once in a financial year, you can be allowed to change your email address or you inform the company. But it is your duty to inform the company. So electronic notice can be sent. Email address provided by the member through a text or an attachment. Emails should be correctly addressed to the person as per the records of the depository. So where will you check the email addresses? On the records of the depositories, you will go and check it. Company will also give a chance to at least review the email addresses and update the fresh email. Is that clear to everyone? Subject line in email shall state the name of the company, the notice of the type of meeting, place and date on the meeting is scheduled. So you will also tell what is the name of the company, what kind of notice you're giving, and what is the date, time, place when the meeting is scheduled. Notice will also be placed on the website of the company, if any, and on the website as may be notified by CG. या तो CG बताएगा कौन सी वेबसाइट पे, या फिर आप वेबसाइट पे डालो. ठीक है, ये 7 पॉइंट्स हो गए इलेक्ट्रॉनिक नोटिस के. नाउ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग नोट, वेयर द नोटिस इज सेंट बाय पोस्ट, it shall deem to have been served at the expiry of 48 hours after the letter containing the same has been posted. वो कह रहे हैं इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड में तो हम ईमेल से भेज रहे हैं, तो बेटा ईमेल तो 1 सेकंड में ईमेल पहुंच जाती है ना, Within 1 second, you will get the email. I wrote an email to Mr. So and so, this is the notice. मैंने send button click करा and immediately you receive the notice. ऐसे ही होता है. But अगर मैंने letter post करी है, मैं post भी कर सकती हूँ ना. I can send you the notice by post. So वो तो 1 मिनट में नहीं मिलेगी, 1 दिन में नहीं मिलेगी. तो हम कब assume करेंगे? By what date we will assume that it has been served? At the expiry of 48 hours, means 2 दिन के एंड में मान लिया जाएगा कि आपको नोटिस मिल गया है. आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, अगर आपने नोटिस नहीं पढ़ा, नहीं खोला, दैट इज योर मिस्टेक. We will assume after complete 2 days that the notice has been served. So if I have posted the notice on 3rd June 2023, by what time and at 11 a.m.? I have posted the notice on 3rd June 2023. After how many hours? 48 hours, 4th June, 5th June. 5th June 2023, 11 a.m. के बाद ये मान लिया जाएगा कि आपको नोटिस सर्व हो गया. It shall deem to be served at the expiry of 48 days once the letter has been posted. Everyone is clear about these all points? Very good, Savya. Ashilesha. KYC update? Ashilesha? Okay. Yes, Aditya. 5th June, 11 a.m. is the correct answer. Very good. Okay. Now, let's do certain important points related to 2 day 48 hours. Yes, Linga R, that's absolutely correct. Now I am going to show you the study material and we are going to do certain questions related to notice of the meeting. So it seems very simple, but there are certain twists and turns related to notice also. Navneet, you want to ask something? So here is your topic of notice. So notice 21 clear days notice has to be given. For Section 8 companies, how many days notice shall be given? CA Foundation से पढ़ते आ रहे हो, अब Section 8 companies का एक time period था. So today you will understand the meaning of that word because in CA Foundation book it was just written, and even in your second chapter we have told you instead of 21 days the word 14 days will be used for Section 8 companies. So Section 8 companies के केस में आपको 14 days पहले notice देना चाहिए. Contents of the notice: tell the date, time, place and hour of the meeting. Use a highlighter and just highlight contents में क्या बताना है? Date, time, place, day and hour. कितने बजे हैं ये भी बताना है meeting. And statement telling what business is to be transacted. Ordinary business है, special business है, कौन सा business? Very, very important point. Who will get the notice? किस किस को notice भेजना है? To every member of the company. अगर member की death हो गई है तो legal representative को, auditor and auditors को, and every director of the company. So there was a company ABC Limited. It has 5 members A, B, C, D and E. G and K were the directors of the company. G, K, L were the directors of the company. And Ernst and Young were appointed as the auditors of this company. C की death हो गई. So who all will be sent the notice? A, B, D and E. C के legal representative को notice भेजोगे. Every director, J, K, L, जितने भी directors हैं company के, सभी को notice जाएगा. And E and Y जो auditors हैं company के, उनको भी notice जाएगा. So to every member, legal representative, assignee of the insolvent, E insolvent declare हो गया. तो जिसके पास भी उसकी प्रॉपर्टी है, असाइनी है, उसको नोटिस जाएगा, ऑडिटर्स को एंड एवरी टाइम. Okay, examiner can ask you to whom the notice has to be sent. These 3 points are important. 21 days means the date on which the notice is served and the date are excluded. Company cannot curtail the requirement of 21 days even on the articles. So you cannot make the 21 days को आप articles के साथ भी कम नहीं कर सकते. And post से भेजा है तो 48 hours अभी बता ही दिया आपको. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड, ये सारी बातें हम कर चुके हैं, किस तरह से इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड में माना जाएगा. सिंपल, यू कैन गिव इट अ रीड. नॉन रिसीट ऑफ नोटिस, अनदर इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक. तो 2 टॉपिक मैंने स्टडी में से आपको कराए. एक तो किसको भेजना है, हु, एंड सेकेंड मैं आपको कराने जा रही हूँ नॉन रिसीट मीन्स इफ यू हैव नॉट रिसीव्ड द नोटिस. इट सेज एक्सीडेंटल ओमिशन टू गिव द नोटिस और नॉट रिसीट will not invalidate the meeting. Onus means proof. The proof is on the company to prove that the omission was not deliberate. Not deliberate means जानबूझकर नहीं करा मैंने. So पहले एक स्टोरी सुनते. Once upon a time there was a company. It has to send the notice to every member, legal representative, assignee of insolvent, every director, every auditor. It sent the notice to all these people, but the director of the company has changed his email address. Because he has changed his email address, he did not receive the notice. Is it my fault? I am the company. मेरी गलती अगर आपने email address change करा. No, ma'am, it is not your fault. I have to prove that I have not intentionally done it. This will not invalidate my meeting. ये सब लोग बाकी आगे मीटिंग अटेंड करने, ये डायरेक्टर नहीं आ पाया तो कोई बात नहीं, आपकी गलती, आपको बताना चाहिए था. इट इज योर मिस्टेक. Second, there was an auditor of the company whose email ID is full, and because of the storage limit, he could not receive my notice. He was not present. Other members came. Is it my mistake that your storage was full? Did you inform me? So this is accidental omission. जानबूझकर मैंने नोटिस नहीं भेजा. कंपनी ने ना मिस्टर बी से बड़ा जेलस था और मिस्टर बी को हमने नोटिस नहीं भेजा, मिस्टर सी को भी नहीं भेजा. तो अब मैंने जानबूझकर नहीं भेजा. इज इट माय मिस्टेक? यस, देन इट इज योर मिस्टेक. देन इट विल इनवैलिडेट द मीटिंग. मींस अब अगर मैंने किसी को नहीं बुलाया, ऑडिटर को, मैंने कंपनी बोलती, मैं भूल गई कि ऑडिटर को मीटिंग में भेजना था नोटिस, तो देन इट इज योर मिस्टेक. देन इट विल इनवैलिडेट. ओके, दोनों पॉइंट इंपॉर्टेंट है. अब करते हैं इलस्ट्रेशन नंबर 4. मिस्टर अभिनव, member of a company, filed a complaint that the company has not served him the notice. तो ये लड़ने के लिए आ गया. अभिनव कहता मुझे आपने मैम नोटिस ही नहीं भेजा attending for AGM. Company in turn provided the proof that they have sent the notice on the email address given to them, inviting him to attend the AGM. Mr. Anubhav alleges, Anubhav नहीं है, Abhinav alleges that he never received the email. Please tell me, is the company liable? What do you think? Will the company be liable? See, company's obligation is satisfied when it sends the email, and once you have sent, any failure in transmission which is beyond my control, that is not my reason. If member failed to receive or he has not updated the email address, then it is member's fault, not the company's. Or he has not told the depository participant his email address. Company will not be at default. Accordingly, this company will not be guilty if there was a failure beyond its control or in case Abhinav did not update his email address. तो आपको रीजन देकर आना पड़ेगा बेटा. येस नो से बात नहीं चलेगी. आप प्रॉपर रीजन एग्जाम में यू विल हैव टू डिस्प्ले द रीजन. Everybody clear about illustration 4? Interesting, simple, justified. Shorter notice कब चलेगा? AGM हो तो 95% of the members हाँ करेंगे. EGM है तो majority and 95% and voting rights वाला है तो 95% of the voting rights. Where the member is entitled to vote only on some resolutions to be moved at the meeting and not others, those members shall be taken into account in respect of the former resolution and not in respect of the latter. कहते हैं अगर कोई ऐसा मेंबर है, मिस्टर ए एक मेंबर है, who is only entitled to vote on 1, 2 and 3 resolutions, but not on 4 and 5. Then he will be taken into account only for these resolutions. तो उसको इन्हीं resolutions के लिए member माना जाएगा, इन resolutions के लिए उसको consider नहीं करा जाएगा. ठीक है, he will not be treated as a member for the other resolutions. Example पढ़ते हैं, interesting है. Paid up share capital of the company was 50 lakh rupees. Directors of the company were desirous of calling EGM by giving a shorter notice. कितने दिन दे रहे हैं ये नहीं बताया, but less than 21. 50 lakh rupees share capital है. Members कितने हैं? 60% of the members holding 45 lakhs gave their consent by electronic mode to the shorter notice. तो 60% of the members तो ठीक है मैम, majority of the members है. Holding 40 lakhs, holding 45 है 40 lakhs. तो बेटा 40 out of 50 की परसेंटेज निकालना जरा, कितनी होती है? 80% आ रहा है. तो क्या आप 95% शेयर होल्डिंग होल्ड करते हो? मैंने क्या बोला था, 2 अपने मेजॉरिटी करनी है, मेजॉरिटी तो हो गया, बट आप 80% होल्ड कर रहे हो. Therefore, AGM cannot be validly called. It says this is 80%. So for 95%, it should be at least 47,50,000 होल्डिंग वाले जो मेंबर्स हैं वो हाँ करेंगे, तभी हम इसको मानेंगे, नहीं तो शॉर्टर नोटिस वैलिड नहीं है. Therefore, it is not a valid EGM. Everybody read this and tell me if you have any doubts. Please ask. Clear है? Simple. Very good. Yes, Navneet, excellent. If the storage is full, मैम मेरा मैसेज दिख रहे हैं. Yes, Navneet, आपके सारे मैसेजेस आ रहे हैं. अब मैं ना everyone वाले में चैट बॉक्स में देख रही हूँ, because since everyone वाला is working, so it's better to read. Very good, Aditya. Yes, every sentence is very important. Okay, let's move ahead now. AGM or EGM can be called by whom? Board of Directors. Can individual director can also call? No, ma'am. Individual director has no authority. Any notice given without the sanction of board is invalid. The same can be ratified by board and board passes a board resolution. तो side पे इसके लिख लेना. Meeting, चाहे वो AGM है, चाहे वो EGM है, can only be called by the board of directors and not individual director. एक डायरेक्टर ने कहा मीटिंग कर लो, कोई बात नहीं बनती भाई, बोर्ड को बुलाओ. बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स डिसाइड. बोर्ड क्या होते हैं? टोटल नंबर ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स हु आर असाइन्ड फॉर द कंपनी. दे विल डिसाइड when and where the meeting to be called, not just a single director. Clear है? Let's move to section number 102. Or let's do the first question for notice of the meeting. Section 101 का एक क्वेश्चन कर ले. Okay. Best Limited has decided to conduct its AGM on 28 September 2021. They have sent the notice on 9 September 2021, for which they have taken the consent from 90% of the members entitled to vote. Decide whether it's a valid AGM notice or not. In the first case also 7 November को notice meeting थी and 16th October को notice भेज रहे हैं. Shorter notice, the company have decided whether the meeting can be held valid if there is a short form explained by how many days the notice falls short. So all these questions are related to 21 days time period and a shorter notice. Let's read the answer. First, you will give the provision of the case. Section 101 requires a 21 clear days notice in writing or electronic mode. What is the meaning of 21 days? The date and of the sending the notice is not to be included. And if you are giving by post, then 48 hours after the expiry, the letter has been posted. ये तो सारी हो गई आपकी provisions of the case. You will have to write these provisions. Then you will give facts of the case. Facts of the case are 21 days clear notice must be given. Here you're giving 19 clear days notice is served after excluding 48 hours from the time posted. Therefore, meeting is not valid. It is falling short by 2 days. Company does not have anything specific regarding the condonation of delay. So condonation of delay says Companies Act does not specify if you are delaying the notice. The delay in giving the notice cannot be condoned, means you cannot give it as an excuse. You cannot make it as an excuse. वो कहते हैं कि can we say that there is a notice shortfall? Any delay in giving the notice can be condoned? No, you cannot. Delay cannot be justified. All right. Let's move to section 102. Everybody understood? Syed Hussain, what have you not understood? Which condition, beta? Item, city, very good. All the points are clear. That's great. No, beta, shorter notice will not be applicable if the consent has not been taken of need. So the first question which we did, there was not a consent. Second वाले में 90% है, तो 95% of the consent was required. एक बार और एक्सप्लेन कर दीजिए एजीएम एंड ईजीएम. सैयद हुसैन, एजीएम होता है एनुअल जनरल मीटिंग एंड ईजीएम होता है एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी जनरल मीटिंग. आपको बेटा इसमें क्या नहीं समझ आया, आप अपना स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हो. पूरा टॉपिक दोबारा नहीं एक्सप्लेन हो सकता. आप वीडियो में एक बार ध्यान से सुन लेना. कुछ नहीं समझ आया, हिंदी में पूछना है तो आप अपना डाउट पूछ लीजिए. यू कैन इवन रेज योर हैंड एंड आस्क योर डाउट. ओके. Yes, Aditya, in the same way the questions will come. The case study that we have just done, इस तरह से आएगा. It's not very indirect also. It was quite direct. It is giving you quite clearly the dates and everything. So anyway, it can come. Yes, Navneet, then it will be applicable if they have written the votes of percentage of consent given. Okay. Now there are extraordinary statement 102 पढ़ने से पहले हम दो type of business की बात करेंगे. Companies Act has set out two types of businesses. One is ordinary business and one is special business. Ordinary business is the business which is transacted at the annual general meeting of the company. So I told you there are four types of ordinary businesses which are transacted at the AGM of the company. What are they? Declaring the dividend, appointment of directors, appointment and fixing of the auditors of the company. तो डायरेक्टर अपॉइंट करना है, डिविडेंड फिक्स करना है, ऑडिटर फिक्स करना है, हमेशा ही एजीएम का ऑर्डिनरी बिजनेस है. फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स को कंसिडर करना एंड डायरेक्टर्स एंड ऑडिटर्स की रिपोर्ट को कंसिडर करना. फाइनलाइजेशन ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स एंड द रिपोर्ट्स ऑफ द ऑडिटर्स एंड डायरेक्टर्स इज ऑल्सो ऑर्डिनरी बिजनेस. सो एबीसी लिमिटेड हैज कॉल्ड अ मीटिंग. ABC Limited is trying to call a meeting for transacting the business of appointing E&Y as the auditors and removing KPMG as the current auditors. Are they doing ordinary business or they're doing special business? Very good. They are doing ordinary business. And this ordinary business, Savekan, will be held in AGM or EGM? Yusumi, Deepika, very good ordinary business. For this, I will be calling AGM or EGM. Very good, Ashilesha, Sapya, Riya. Syed Hussain, you tell me, what will you call? AGM or EGM if you're doing? Vishal Kashyap, Deepika, absolutely correct because you're transacting special business. Yes, Kuldeep. So there's not a problem. Even appointment and removal of auditors, if you're doing, you're fixing their remuneration. Anything related to the appointment you're fixing is AG. Okay. Yes, Geeta, absolutely correct. If I am deciding to call a meeting for changing a new line of business, for opening a new line of business, then am I doing ordinary business or am I doing special business? Absolutely correct, because it does not fall in those four categories. Then anything which is not falling in the above categories is deemed to be the special business. And for EGM, all businesses are special business. आप ऐसा नहीं AGM नहीं कर सकते, AGM भी कर सकते हो. ऑर्डिनरी एंड स्पेशल बिजनेस के लिए दोनों के लिए एजीएम हो सकती है, बट स्पेशल ईजीएम के लिए हमेशा ही स्पेशल बिजनेस हो. So you can write down for AGM, we can have both OB and SB. But for EGM, we always have SB. SB means special business. Ordinary business EGM में नहीं होगा. AGM में OB and SB दोनों हो सकते हैं. EGM में हमेशा ही special business transact करते. Is that clear to everyone? What is special business? Aditya, anything apart from these ordinary businesses, special business. देखो दित्या, अगर मैं ये चार चीजें कर रही हूँ, कंसिडरेशन ऑफ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स कर रही हूँ, ऑडिटर्स को अपॉइंट कर रही हूँ, डायरेक्टर्स की बात कर रही हूँ, तब तो मैं ऑर्डिनरी बिजनेस कर रही हूँ. इनके अलावा मैं कुछ भी और कर, तो उसको क्या कहा जाएगा? स्पेशल बिजनेस. ऑल बिजनेस एक्सेप्ट द फोर अबव इज स्पेशल. ठीक है, क्लियर नाउ? For the special business to be transacted at companies, अब जब हम स्पेशल बिजनेस कर रहे हैं तो वो स्पेशल हो गया. ऑर्डिनरी बिजनेस के लिए नोटिस जा रहा था. अगर आप स्पेशल बिजनेस कर रहे हो तो साथ में नोटिस की एक स्टेटमेंट लगा देना, एक्सप्लेनेशन देते हुए कि किस चीज का बिजनेस कर रहे हो, ऐसा क्या नया करने आ रहे हो. तो उसके लिए आपने एक्सप्लेनेटरी स्टेटमेंट देना. क्या देना है? Explanatory statement. So when you are transacting any special business, you need to give a explanatory statement along with the notice. And next to the notice means attached with the notice. And next to the statement means attached with the notice. Notice के साथ attach करके आप दोगे एक extraordinary business के लिए जो आप statement दोगे. उसमें आप क्या स्पेसिफाई करोगे? एक्सप्लेनेटरी स्टेटमेंट में व्हाट ऑल यू विल राइट? नेचर ऑफ फाइनेंशियल इंटरेस्ट. एवरी डायरेक्टर एंड द मैनेजर हैज एनी की मैनेजरियल पर्सोनल, any relatives are having, or any other information which is important for the members to understand so that they can take their decisions accordingly. So you will clearly specify that if we are trying to change the business, what is the financial interest in that of every director, if they're having any interest in this thing. Are they holding any shares in this new business? Is any KMP's relatives holding any interest in this? Any interest which is being held financially or otherwise has to be disclosed in the explanatory statement, and all the other facts have to be given. भी हम इस जगह पर नया बिजनेस कर रहे हैं, कौन सी लाइन में कर रहे हैं, everything, so that the decision can be taken accordingly. आप सिंपल सोच के देखो ना, आपने घर में मीटिंग रखी, कोई आपने कोई बातचीत करनी है, आपके घर में एक वेडिंग है, फंक्शन है, तो आपने सारे घर वालों को बुलाया, मीटिंग करनी है. तो मीटिंग करने के लिए हमने क्या बोला था? हम नोटिस भेजते हैं. नोटिस मीन्स एक अनाउंसमेंट. तो आपने मैसेज डाल दिया व्हाट्सएप पे सबको कि आज 5 o'clock हम सारे घर वाले मिलेंगे. वो क्या हुआ? नोटिस. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड से आपने नोटिस भेजा. ऑल द मेंबर्स हैव गैदर्ड एंड नाउ यू आर हैविंग अ मीटिंग, डिस्कशन. So if it is a very special important business, you will write the details ना, that we are transacting the business, किस चीज के बारे में बात कर. So explanatory statement means if it's a special business, then you have to give all the details about what kind of business we are going to transact in this meeting. And you have to tell if any financial or other interest is being held by any of the director, key managerial personnel, or their relatives in this business. If you do not disclose or give insufficient disclosure of any interest or benefit which this promoter director are getting, then it will be considered as if they are holding this benefit as a trust for the company, and will be liable to compensate the company for any benefit received. Let's understand with the help of very interesting example. For example, there was a director, Mr. C. His wife has purchased a land in particular area which is worth 1 crore rupees. Now this land belongs to whom? Director's wife, Mrs. C, is having this land. C has proposed to open new business in this land. So children, now आपकी वाइफ का लैंड है, आप प्रपोज कर रहे हो स्पेशल बिजनेस कि हम यहाँ पे लैंड अपना लेकर खरीद लें. सो अब सी ने सपोज 55 लाख रुपीस प्रॉफिट कमा लिया इस ट्रांजेक्शन से, और ये नहीं बताया, फेल्स टू डिस्क्लोज दैट दिस लैंड बिलोंग्स टू whom? Belongs to the relative of director. Then C is holding this 5 lakh rupees as a trust for the company and shall return this benefit. लिखो जरा इसको जल्दी से, फटाफट से पहले लिखो फिर समझाते हो. समझ आया? क्लियर है? इंटरेस्टिंग है? So you have to disclose any financial or other interest if you're having in that business. So if you're not disclosing, then that amount you're holding as a trust for the company and you're bound to return it back to the company. Clear? Okay. Now, in continuation of this, any benefit that you have to return, it says, provided this special business is affecting, relates to or affects the company, the shareholding is of promoter, director or any other KMP has to be disclosed. If the extent of shareholding is 2% or more of the paid up share capital, where any business item refers to the document to be considered at the time and place. Okay, this is a separate point. So all these points relate to the same example that I've given you. कोई भी director, promoter अगर interest hold करता है या फिर 2% से ज्यादा paid up share capital hold कर रहा है other company में, जहां पे आप अपना business transact करने जा रहे हो, then it has to be disclosed. आप नहीं disclose करोगे तो आपको basically benefit जो आपने earn करा है वो return करना. ठीक है? And any item of business refers to any document which is to be considered at any time and place can be inspected, should also specify in the explanatory statement. तो आप explanatory statement में ये भी बता देना किस time पे and place पे आप अपने documents को inspect कर सकते. If you contravene section 102 subsection 5, that means you're not disclosing, every promoter, director and key manager who is in default will be liable to a penalty of 50,000 or 5 times the amount of benefit which is accruing, whichever is higher. Whichever is higher. तो मेरे वाले में 5 लाख आपने कमाया बेनिफिट, 25 lakhs या 50,000, whichever is higher. 25 lakhs. 25 lakhs आपको देना पड़ेगा as a penalty. And if I'm doing ordinary business, do I need to send the explanatory statement? No, ma'am. Explanatory statement is only required for the special business. Explanatory statement is required for the special business. ठीक है? Very good, Navneet Moral. Navneet, what explain again? क्या नहीं समझ आया बेटा? एजीएम के लिए 4 फिक्स है, ऑर्डिनरी बिजनेस एजीएम के लिए 4 बिजनेस. यस यस यस, एजीएम के लिए 4 ऑर्डिनरी है, बट कोई भी उसके अलावा होगा तो वो स्पेशल बिजनेस है. प्रोवाइडेड दैट वाला वी विल अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम द स्टडी मटेरियल आल्सो विद द एग्जांपल इट विल बिकम मोर क्लियर. ओके मुस्तफा, नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. So basically it tries to tell you that if you are holding any interest in that new business, you have to disclose it. Otherwise there will be a bigger amount of penalty. एक बारी 102 देख लेते हैं, चाहे उसमें से बुक में से भी, फिर I'll give you a break. Explanatory statement means any special business. Special business के लिए क्या देना होता है? Explanatory statement. Ordinary business के लिए क्या देना होता है? Notice under 101. स्पेशल बिजनेस के लिए भी क्या देना है? नोटिस तो देना है, उसके साथ एक्सप्लेनेटरी स्टेटमेंट. एक्सप्लेनेटरी स्टेटमेंट क्या स्पेसिफाई करेगा कि क्या इंटरेस्ट है डायरेक्टर का, केएमपी का, रिलेटिव्स का एंड एनी अदर इंफॉर्मेशन. फिर उसने आपको ऑर्डिनरी एंड स्पेशल बिजनेस के बारे में बताया है. क्विकली राइट डाउन इन द चैट बॉक्स व्हाट आर द 4 टाइप्स ऑफ ऑर्डिनरी बिजनेस. Declaration of dividend, appointment of auditors, appointment and removal of directors, and consideration of financial statements and reports of board of directors and auditors. Very important. Every chartered accountant student should know about these things, that these are the ordinary businesses which are transacted at AGM. Other than these are always known as special business. In AGM, we always have special business. Provision to section 102 subsection 2. Now 102 is already given over here. It says any item of business which is affecting any other company, or if the extent of holding is 2% or more in that company, that item has to be disclosed. If you don't disclose, non-disclosure, or you give insufficient disclosure, then whatever benefit you have taken, same example that I've given you, आपने कोई भी benefit कमाया है तो आपको वो कंपनी के लिए आप होल्ड कर रहे हो और आपको रिटर्न करना है. कितना रिटर्न करना है? अगर आप डिफॉल्ट करते हो 5 times of the amount of benefit that you have occurred, or 50,000, whichever is high. All right. So let's take a small break here. Read section 102 and then we will do one question related to 102 and then we will be starting with the proxy. All right. So Sanket sir, we are taking a break here. All right, students, welcome back to the class. So let's do a quick question related to explanatory statement so that the concept is clearly fed in your mind. I hope you have done the annual return related question also in the previous class. So OM Limited served a notice upon its meetings for the meeting upon its members. It stated the resolutions to be passed is to increase the authorized share capital of the company, appointment and fixing of the remuneration of Mr. Prateek as the auditor. Shareholder complained that the amount of the proposed increase in remuneration was not specified in the notice. Is the notice valid? So first question is talking about the special kind of business because it is not the part of 4 ordinary businesses. And second is category about the ordinary businesses where we are appointing and fixing the remuneration, correct? So for fixing the remuneration, we need to send a notice under section 101. However, this is because this is a ordinary business. The first category is special business. Along with the notice, a 102 explanatory statement is required, which requires the disclosure of all the material facts for transacting and taking the decisions. So in case the meeting is being called, how will you write the answer for the AGM? All the business transacted shall deem to be the special business other than the AGM. So under 102, an explanatory statement set out all the material facts shall be attached along with the notice, telling the nature of interest every director has, relatives has, and all these informations that may be required to understand the scope and information and take the decisions accordingly. Clear हो गया? पहले आपने provisions में ये सारा law लिख देना. फिर आप बोलोगे information amount is also material fact that the members should know, right? When you're doing a business, you're increasing the authorized share capital. So it's an important thing. So it falls under the category of special business where you're increasing the authorized capital. But the notice will be invalid because you have not told what is the amount. कितना increase कर रहे हो? हमें meeting में बुला रहे हो, बता तो दो. For the ordinary business, it is not required explanatory statement. Considering the two resolutions mentioned above, we can say that the notice is not valid because अब ये तो बता दो ना remuneration भी कितनी fix करें. Notice में भी तो हमने कहा था ना tell all the material facts. So the objection is valid since the details on the items to be considered has to be fully given. Clear? So you can see what kind of a basic nature of questions can come in the exam. It's not asking you very complicated question. It's asking you a very basic question. Okay. Yes, Manmeet Kaur, I will ask the technical team. They will send you the link of the WhatsApp group. Okay. Yes, Mustafa, you can continue from here also because we'll be doing very new concepts. So you should not miss the class. Okay. Ordinary means the general work. No, it is not the general work. It's the ordinary business has 4 categories, Mustafa, that we have specifically discussed. Other than that, anything that you do is your special business. All right. Let's do one more question. This is very easy. Try solving it. T Limited had its annual general meeting on 30th August. Mr. Pavan filed a complaint that he could not attend the meeting as the notice was not served to him. The company, and I think this is the same one that we have done from the study material. We have done this one. It's the same one, children. Okay, then let's not waste time on this one. Let's go back to your section 103. Let's start with section 103. So we have done 101, that is notice for the meeting. 102, explanatory statement. Now we will do 103, quorum for the meetings. What is the meaning of quorum? Unless the articles provide for a larger number, the quorum in case of a public company, this is the quorum. For a private company, it is 2 members personally present. Personally present means they have to be physically present for the meeting, then only it is considered quorum. So quorum means, write down, number of members, minimum number of members who should be present for the meeting. Quorum means minimum number of members who should be present for the meeting. Public company के केस में, if the members are not more than 1,000, means less than 1,000 or 1,000, then 5 members personally present. More than 1,000 to 5,000, 15 members. And if you have more than 5,000 in your company, then 30 members should be present in order to form the quorum. But if you're a private company, then 2 members personally present. Now, this slide is very, very important. Each and every line written over here has a very important. It says, unless the articles provide for a larger number. So, likho, articles of association can provide for a larger quorum, but not smaller quorum. Smaller means not lesser. लार्जर कोरम के लिए कह सकता है कि नहीं, अगर आप 1000 से कम हो, आप 10 मेंबर पर्सनली प्रेजेंट हो, मेरे को नहीं चलेगा, अगर कम से कम 10 आने चाहिए, यहाँ पे कम से कम 45 आने चाहिए. Unless the articles provide for larger number, articles can provide for larger number of quorum, but never for the less. आर्टिकल ये नहीं कह सकता कि 3 मेंबर आएंगे तो चलेगा, नहीं. 1000 से कम है तो मिनिमम 5 चाहिए, 1000 to 5000 मेंबर्स है तो 15 चाहिए, more than 5,000 है तो 30 चाहिए. So if there is a company, ABC Private Limited, having 130 members, how many members will form the quorum? Kuldeep, very good. Savya, Anubhav, Riya, very easy ma'am, 2. Private company है तो 2. Easy था. नवनीत 5 लिख रहे हो आप? Private company है बेटा. Member means like shareholders. Yes, yes, Anubhav. Both venture holders, security holders, everybody. अगर ABC लिमिटेड है and number of members are 1300, फिर कितने चाहिए quorum में? 15. Everybody agrees? कितने चाहिए quorum में? 15. विशाल, प्रजापति, Theosumi, everybody is correct. Very good. अगर आपके नंबर ऑफ मेंबर्स 5300 है एंड आप एक पब्लिक कंपनी हो, फिर कितने मेंबर्स चाहिए आपको कोरम के लिए? 30. ठीक है बेटा, एवरीवन इज क्लियर अबाउट दिस? If the number of members are 5300 and articles of association says that the quorum should be 15, is it valid? No. Very good. If articles of association says it should be 45, is it valid? ये सारे examples लिख लेना. Very good. Now it's valid because articles can provide for larger quorum but never for the shorter quorum. Clear? Private company में 2, public company में 5, 15, 30 depending upon the number of members and articles can provide for larger quorum. Delete कर दूं. Next point. Adjournment of the meeting. Adjournment means carry forward कर देना, postpone कर देना, adjourn कर देना. मीटिंग को आप आगे ले गए हो means आपने adjourn कर दिया. आपने कहा 5 मेंबर्स आने चाहिए, हम वेट करते रहे, सिर्फ 4 मेंबर्स ही आए, तो मीटिंग नहीं होगी, बिकॉज कोरम का मतलब होता है मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ मेंबर्स प्रेजेंट. सो इफ 5 वर टू बी प्रेजेंट, ओनली 4 केम, then if the quorum is not present within half an hour from the time fixed for the meeting. So the time fixed for the meeting was 11 a.m. Till what time you will wait? 11:30. Half an hour from the time fixed. The meeting will be adjourned. So if the meeting was supposed to be held on Wednesday, 11 a.m., we waited till 11:30. 5 members did not turn up. So the meeting will be adjourned to the same day in the next week. So next week May, same day, Wednesday, same time, 11 a.m. and whatever the time and place, otherwise the board may decide. The meeting, if called by requisitionists under section 100, it shall stand cancelled. कौन बताएगा मुझे इसका मतलब? Meeting called by requisitionists under section 100? ये कौन होते हैं बेटा? सेक्शन 100 में कुछ पढ़ा था क्या? हमने requisitionist भी कॉल करते हैं मीटिंग. Anybody can raise their hand and tell me what is the meaning of point B. When does the requisitionists call the meeting? Very good, Navneet Maurya. Answer?
जी मैम, ईजीएम के लिए मैम.
Yes.
मैम जब ईजीएम के लिए अगर जो रिक्वेजनिस्ट अगर जो बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स के सामने अगर रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं तो ईजीएम करा सकते हैं. वो तो उसी की बात हो रही है शायद ईजीएम वाले मीटिंग की.
हाँ, तो कौन होते हैं वो रिक्वेजिशनिस्ट? If the company is having share capital, then
कंपनी की शेयर कैपिटल शेयर होल्डर्स होते हैं.
हाँ, तो आई एम आस्किंग हाउ मेनी पीपल कैन मेक द request? Excellent, Navneet. Very good. And I'm so happy to hear your response. Very enthusiastic, child. Excellent. And all your answers are also correct. So 1/10, if the company is having share capital and not having share capital, then 1/10 of the
वोटिंग पावर.
अब अगर इन्होंने मीटिंग कॉल करी थी और कोरम नहीं आया तो क्या हो जाएगा?
कैंसिल हो जाएगा मैम वो.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you, Navneet. So meeting will stand cancelled. Means अगर EGM है और कोरम नहीं आया तो मीटिंग कैंसल्ड है. सिर्फ AGM में एडजॉर्नमेंट करनी है. EGM में रिक्वेजिशनिस्ट ने अगर मीटिंग कॉल करी थी तो कैंसिल कर. वेरी गुड प्रेरणा, कुलदीप, जया, आशिलेशा, everybody. P Mujahid, absolutely correct. Everybody has given the correct answer. Very good, Anubhav. Shamli Sharma, very nice. Everyone has given the correct answer. So clear हो गया. Quorum meeting, AGM adjourned, EGM cancelled, adjourned within half an hour अगर नहीं आया, same time next. अब और भी मजेदार बात. अब हमने वेडनेसडे नेक्स्ट वीक में 11:30 मीटिंग एडजर्न कर दी 11 AM. In case on the adjourned meeting or a change of day, time and place, the company shall give not less than 3 days notice or give it in the newspaper which is in circulation where the RO is situated. If the meeting is adjourned or you have changed any day, time and place, then at least 3 days notice should also be given. बाकी मेंबर्स को तो बता दो कि मीटिंग एडजर्न हो गई. सपोज 30 आने थे कोरम में, सिर्फ 10 ही आए, मीटिंग एडजर्न हो गई. इन 10 को तो पता लग गया मीटिंग एडजर्न हुई है. बाकी 20 लोगों को तो बता दो भाई कि मीटिंग एडजर्न हो गई है. एटलीस्ट 3 डेज का नोटिस दे दो. एडवर्टाइजमेंट में डाल दो या तो न्यूज़पेपर में, वन इंग्लिश एंड वर्नाकुलर वेयर द आरओ इज सिचुएटेड, और सेंड अ नोटिस इंडिविजुअली टू द मेंबर्स. क्लियर है? सो 3 days in advance notice shall be sent. If quorum is not present at the adjourned meeting also, अब मीटिंग एडजर्न करी वेडनेसडे 11 o'clock, नोटिस भी भेज दिया, बता भी दिया सब कुछ कि इस दिन मीटिंग होनी है. अगेन यू आर नॉट प्रेजेंट, देन व्हाट शुड वी डू? Then within half an hour, the members who are present shall form the quorum. So 30 members who had to become, 10 only came, 20 did not came. Ma'am, we have sent them the notice. We have informed them. Now they adjourn meeting on Wednesday 11 a.m. Again only 10 members turned up. So they will be considered as quorum. We will not wait more. Adjourn meeting में अगर quorum नहीं आता तो जितने लोग आए हैं आधे घंटे में उन्हीं को ही quorum मान लिया जाए. They will only be considered as the quorum for the meeting. So some of the pointers, AOI can provide for larger, not lesser number. In case the person is representing a body corporate shareholder is present, he will personally consider to be present. So if there is a member of the company, there is a company ABC Limited, उसके ना 4 members हैं, A, B, C and D, एंड एक कंपनी है PQR लिमिटेड, वो भी इसकी मेंबर है. हो सकती है ना कंपनी मेंबर. पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म नहीं होती है मेंबर इन अ पार्टनरशिप, बट कंपनी कैन बी अ मेंबर इन अ कंपनी, रिमेंबर, बिकॉज कंपनी इज अ सेपरेट लीगल एंटिटी. सो कंपनी इज अ मेंबर. अब कंपनी तो जाएगी नहीं मीटिंग अटेंड करने, हमें 5 मेंबर्स चाहिए थे कोरम में. सो A आ गया, B आ गया, C आ गया, D आ गया. One of the representative of PQR is Mr. P. If he is personally present, it will be deemed that the body corporate has come as the member. कंपनी चल नहीं ना सकती, उसके हाथ पैर तो होते नहीं है. कंपनी is artificial judicial person, cannot see, cannot write, but there is somebody who has come in existence. But a person who is representing that body corporate, he is present, Mr. P is present, then it will be counted as the quorum. If Mr. P is representing 2 companies, PQR को भी represent करता है, ABC Limited को भी represent करता है. तो फिर अगर सिर्फ ABC आए, 3 लोग आए और Mr. P आ गया, तो he represent 2 companies, he will be counted as 2 members. Sounds funny, amazing, but this is what law says. P is present, P is a member of PQR, that means PQR is present, P is a member of ABC also, ABC is also present. So he will be counted as 2 members. But, interesting part. यहाँ तक समझ आ गया, AO can provide larger number. If you're representing a body corporate, you should have to personally present. If you're representing 2 companies, you will be counted as 2 members. Clear? If a single member is present at a meeting having less than 1000 members, then can we say the quorum is present? कहते less than 1000 में 5 members आने चाहिए थे. आपने बोला हम 5 कंपनीज के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव हैं और मैं मिस्टर पी आ गया. तो अभी तो हरलीन मैम ने बताया कि अगर आप 2 कंपनीज के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव हो तो आपको 2 माना जाएगा. हम 5 कंपनीज रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं तो हमें 5 मेंबर मान लो. अरे भाई, अगर आप आए ही अकेले हो, सिर्फ मिस्टर पी ही आया है, तब वैलिड नहीं होगा. एटलीस्ट 2 बंदे तो आने चाहिए, 2 इंडिविजुअल्स तो होने चाहिए मीटिंग के लिए. आप बोल रहे हो एक बंदा आ गया, 5 कंपनीज रिप्रेजेंट करता है, वो 5 मेंबर है, अकेला ही अपने आप के साथ मीटिंग करके चला जाएगा. आप 5 कंपनीज रिप्रेजेंट करते हो, 5 मेंबर्स के बराबर हो, बट आए तो अकेले ही हो. आप मिस्टर बी को या किसी और को भी बुलाओ, आप 5 कंपनीज का डेटा शेयर करो, मीटिंग करो, बट there has to be minimum 2 people to form a quorum. Single person cannot constitute a quorum. Okay? Proxies will not be counted in the quorum. Proxies मैंने बताया ही नहीं है, proxy करेंगे 105 में, तब समझो. Single member can never be called as meeting even if the meeting is the adjourned meeting. तो कभी adjourned भी हुई है, तब भी single member कभी भी meeting नहीं कर सकते. यही पढ़ा था हमने. Some companies can have 7. Yes, Aditya, then there are 7 members. He can cast 2 votes. कुलदीप नगर कास्टिंग ऑफ वोट्स पे पढ़ेंगे, अभी नहीं. वोट्स तो मैंने बताया ही नहीं, प्रॉक्सी बताया ही नहीं, अभी वोटिंग में पढ़ेंगे उसके बारे में. अब मेरी बात सुनिए, अकेले ही 5 कंपनीज. यस अनुभव, ऐसे ही समझ आएगा ना हमें. Proxies can vote. फिर से वोटिंग में नवनीत, अभी वोटिंग तो बताया ही नहीं, वोटिंग में क्यों जा रहे हो? अभी मेरी बात सुनो आप. आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन. यस मुस्तफा, प्राइवेट कंपनी देन ओनली. कह रहा है सिंगल मेंबर कभी भी कोरम नहीं हो सकता. बट मैम सेक्शन 97 एंड सेक्शन 98 में क्या कहा था आपने? जल्दी पढ़कर मुझे बताओ. सेक्शन 97 एंड 98 क्या था? एक्सेप्शन है 97 एंड 98. अगर ट्राइब्यूनल ने एजीएम बुलाया है या ट्राइब्यूनल ने ईजीएम बुलाया है, then even one member present or even a proxy will be counted as the quorum. लिख के रखो. अगर ट्राइब्यूनल ने मीटिंग बुलाया है, then it is an exception, even a single member will be counted as a quorum. Excellent, Shamli, you remember, that's great. Others also, very good. Interesting. Shobha, WhatsApp link is there in the technical team will send you the WhatsApp link in the main chat box. You can see it. सबको समझ आ गया? इंटरेस्टिंग है. कोरम इज इंटरेस्टिंग, मीटिंग्स इज इंटरेस्टिंग नाउ. थोड़ा थोड़ा टेक्निकल लगता है शुरू में, फिर धीरे धीरे अच्छा लगने लग जाता है ना. लास्ट क्लास में तो बहुत टेंशन ले रहे थे, अब रिलैक्सिंग लग रहा है. जल्दी बता दो मुझे फटाफट से. इज इट कूल नाउ? अंडरस्टैंडेबल? yes, Manmeet Kaur, then they will be counted as 2 members. Okay, okay, very nice. पहले चेयरमैन कराती हूँ, फिर कोरम के क्वेश्चन करेंगे. Now we have called you for the meeting. I told you head of the family, there is a head of the meeting, he is a chairman. Unless the articles provide, members who are personally present will elect themselves a chairman by show of hands. I told you class leader हमें attend करना था, हमने hand raise करा. 5 स्टूडेंट्स ने ए के लिए हैंड रेज करा, 2 स्टूडेंट्स ने बी के लिए. तो किसको इलेक्ट करेंगे हम चेयरमैन? मेजॉरिटी, ए रेज्ड, ए विल बी सिलेक्टेड एज द chairman. Demand for poll. Now demand for poll means if the poll is demanded on the election of chairman. I said no, I am not happy with Mr. A. I want the poll meeting to be done. Then the chairman shall continue to the chairman until somebody else is elected as a result of poll, and then such other person will be the chairman. So you have elected Mr. A, but other people are not happy with Mr. A. So we said we do poll voting. Poll voting means you'll write the name of the person in a slip and you'll fold it and you will put it in the box and poll voting will be done. The way you go and vote for the elections, you're not showing out. Some people were very scared of it, so they raised their hand. Actually, they themselves didn't want Mr. A to be the chairman. So it's a hidden method. When you demand for the poll, then you quietly put it on the poster on the poll and you write it, and then member will be elected. What are the powers of the chairman? Chairman will have to manage the meeting, will see that the decorum is maintained, ladai to nahi kar rahe hain, discipline maintain karna. He will prima facie has the authority to decide all the questions and take the decisions at the. So 4 things karega: manage karega, decorum maintain karega, decisions lega, and questions ko answer karega. Last point, chairman will have a casting vote if provided in the article. Now chairman have a casting votes in the meetings, in the board meetings also and general meetings also. Casting vote means second vote. Sometimes, say 5 members have voted in favor and 5 had voted against the resolution. Now there is a tie, so you need a second vote. Chairman's casting vote is required. If he vote in the favor, then the favor will win. If he vote in the against, then against will. So this power has been given. Only if articles say that you will have this power, then only you will take. Otherwise, again, the decisions have to be taken. Private company, this is not applicable, provided it is a company which has not committed a default in returns and filing of financial statement. So section 104 shall apply unless otherwise specified in the respective section. Private company को chairman वाले section से exemption. फोरम के लिए उसके 2 मेंबर्स आने थे एंड चेयरमैन के लिए उसको 2 तो मेंबर्स हैं, चुप करके अपना मीटिंग करो, काम खत्म. Yes, tiebreaker, Anubhav, that's correct. Thank you, Mustafa. I'm glad you're finding it easy now and you're enjoying the explanation. That's wonderful. Okay, but if you have any doubts, Mustafa, you can ask. Okay. All right, German is clear now, everyone. No doubts. Before moving to proxies, let's do one question. Question number 8 we have done. 9. Kurt Limited is a company engaged in the business of manufacturing papers. The company has approached you to explain the following provisions. Quorum for the meeting if the company has 800 members, if the company has 6,500 members, and if the company has 5,500 members. Article says that the quorum should be 50. I give you 2 minutes. Give me the answers in the chat box. Relax होकर देना A, B, C का and AO का भी. Everyone has given the correct answer. That's wonderful. Linga R, Vishal. So what about the AOA? Pooja B, Kuldeep, Deepika, Manisha, Ria. Very nice. No, you will not make the article applicable. How can you make? Article is saying 50. So you will have to provide that how many members. First of all, you will write down the provision that 5 members personally present. So it is providing for 50. In the first one, we can have 800 members. The quorum shall be 5 personally present. 65, 30 members. 5,500 personally present. In all 3 cases, you can have 50, since the articles can provide for the higher members. Is that clear? So this was the twist and turn of this question, because articles can provide for the higher. However, it has to be compulsory 50 members present. Yes, Kuldeep? Yes, Linga are absolutely correct. 50 is the correct answer. Yes, Kuldeep, I can't hear you. Mustafa, correct. Everybody has given the correct answer. So you have to write the provisions first and then you conclude it to the 50. Proxy we have not done yet. Let me open the study also once. So the quorum is clear from the study material also. Adjournment is clear. Requisitionist वाला point भी clear है. ये कर लेते हैं question. 2 questions है हमारे पास यहाँ. चेयरमैन में कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है बेटा, तो चेयरमैन हम कर चुके हैं. इसके बाद हम प्रॉक्सी शुरू करेंगे. फटाफट से 2 illustrations देख लो. There are 54 members in the company. Company called its AGM on 1st July 2024 at 2 p.m. at the registered office. There were 28 members personally present. Company के members कितने हैं? 54. 28 members were personally present till 2:30. Chairman decided to initiate and pass the resolutions. Private company है, वैसे भी 2 members भी आ रहे तब भी ठीक था. Meeting took place. Is it okay? It says as per the provisions, quorum for private is 2 members. Within half an hour, if they are present, you can convene the meeting. Quorum is sufficiently present and the company has not contravened the provisions. देख रहे हो कैसे confuse कर रहा है आप? Simple. Everything is fine over here. Abhay Lights and Sounds Limited has 23 members. तो public company है, 23 members. कितना quorum होना चाहिए? More than 1,000, less than 5,000, 15. Right? AGM was to be held on 23rd August at 10:30. So we will wait till 11 a.m. Only 18 members came at 11 a.m. 15 आने चाहिए थे, 18 आ गए on the day of meeting. 5 resolutions were to be discussed and 2:30 p.m. agenda 1 to 3 had been decided and resolutions were passed. But due to the emergency, 4 members had to leave around 3 p.m. Chairman granted the precisions and agenda went. Now children, out of 18 members, 1 to 3 तो meeting pass हुई, पूरा members present थे. 4 and 5 के लिए 4 members absent हो गए. That means 14 members are passing the agenda 4 and 5. Can we say that they have fallen short of the quorum? Yes, ma'am. So the agenda for the resolutions 4 and 5 will not be valid because it is shortfall of the meeting. Quorum should not be just present in the starting. It has to be present throughout the meeting. Very important, mark kar lo. Not just at the commencement, but also while doing the business. So if your present meeting has started, it was not present for 4 and 5, therefore it is not valid. It will be nullity. Business cannot be transaction and it will be considered null and void. It shall be considered null and void. Clear to everyone? Understood quorum also? तो फिर कर दे शुरू प्रॉक्सी सेक्शन 105. एक बार आपका ये सारे हो गए ना, उसके बाद सिर्फ वोटिंग वाला ही रह जाएगा मेन में, ज्यादा नहीं है. प्रॉक्सीज करते हैं एंड फिर एज प्रॉमिस्ड डिबेंचर ट्रस्टीज में थोड़ा सा जाएंगे. भूल गए आप उसको? रिवाइज कर लिया सबने? डिबेंचर ट्रस्टी करना है, पहले कर ले. लेट्स डू इट फर्स्ट एंड देन वील डू प्रॉक्सीज. व्हाट डू यू से? Let's do it today because I have made up my mind. Every time you stop me at the end, then you get so much exhausted. Then you say, no, ma'am, we don't. So let's have a quick revision of debenture trustees because I told you I'll be asking you questions. So फटाफट से देख लेते हैं. 2 minutes लगेंगे. So, taking you back in section 71 and when we'll be starting acceptance of deposits, again, we will be having a reference of all these provisions. वहां पे deposit redemption reserve है, यहाँ पे debenture redemption reserve था, यहाँ तक हमने देख लिया था. We were only supposed to discuss about the debenture trustee. So whenever the company issues debentures, it appoints a debenture trustee because I have given you a security of my company. So somebody has to be appointed who will take care of this security. So who can be eligible to become debenture trustee? Number 1, the name shall be stated in the offer letter and the written consent has to be taken from him. Now following are the 7 category of people who cannot be appointed as the debenture trustee. If you're a beneficent shareholder of my company, means you're already a shareholder in my company, Can I appoint you as a debenture trustee? The answer is no, because then there is a related party transaction. You cannot be a party which is related to my company. You have to be an independent person because you're acting as a trustee for the debenture holders. So you cannot be the shareholder of the company. You cannot be the promoter director of KMP of the company. Neither you can be the promoter director of my holding subsidiary and associate company. आप होल्डिंग सब्सिडरी और एसोसिएट के भी प्रमोटर डायरेक्टर नहीं हो सकते, ना ही इनके किसी के रिलेटिव हो सकते. So Mr. A is a relative of director Mr. P, and he is a relative of director Mr. P, who is director of my holding company. Can he be appointed as a debenture trustee? Yes or no? Can he be appointed? Yes, Harsh Mishra, it's absolutely possible to complete the whole syllabus before exams. Don't worry. What is your responsibility? Whatever ma'am has taught you, read it, revise it, do it. बस. इससे ज्यादा नहीं आपने सोचना कि होगा या नहीं होगा, कंप्लीट कैसे होगा, पढ़ेंगे कैसे, रिवीजन कैसे होगी, पेपर कैसा आएगा, अगर पेपर टफ आ गया, ये सब कुछ नहीं सोचना है. Just concentrate on your hard work. Because I always tell my students, God help those who help themselves. If you're studying hard, if you're doing well, you are repetitively sitting with your notebooks, pens, highlighters, and understanding every provision. You're not roaming here and there, not taking the things casually. You're very serious about your studies and you're learning it. No one can stop you from cracking your exams. And if any such thing happens, keep paper is tough, you feel September 25 was so tough, it's with everyone. It's not with anyone. It's with everyone. So we all are in the same boat. We are sailing together and our efforts will never go waste. So never worry that syllabus is too much. How will we complete it? You just have to concentrate on your efforts. And when you study well, he's always watching you from there. He always give you good results. एंड बाद में याद आ जाता है, बार बार पढ़ने से, बार बार करने से आराम से याद हो जाता है, टेंशन ही लेनी बिल्कुल. ऑलराइट, सो नो इज द करेक्ट आंसर. Okay, so clear about these 3 points. Let's move ahead. If you are a beneficiary who is entitled to receive the money other than the remuneration payable to the debenture trustee. So he says, I will be giving you a remuneration. I have hired you as a debenture trustee. I'll be giving you 5,000 rupees. But I have decided to pay you something more also. You are my beneficiary of the company also. Then you cannot be the debenture trustee. If you are indebted to the company or either to its holding subsidiary, indebted means आपने कुछ पैसा देना है कंपनी, ना ही आपको पैसा देना है, ना ही आपको कंपनी से पैसा लेना है. फिर आप कोई भी हमारा मनी से रिलेटेड रिलेशनशिप अगर होगा, फिर आप डिबेंचर ट्रस्टी नहीं अपॉइंट हो सकते. आपने कोई गारंटी नहीं दी हुई होनी चाहिए, तब भी आप डिबेंचर ट्रस्टी नहीं हो सकते. And the last point was he should not have a pecuniary relationship. Pecuniary relationship means monetary relationship. If Mr. P is having a relationship with the company amounting to 2% of its gross turnover or total income or 50 lakhs, whichever is higher, for the last 2 immediately preceding years, then he cannot be appointed as the debenture trustee. Let's understand with the help of example. Suppose the gross turnover of the company is 1 lakh. या फिर 10 lakhs दे. इसका 2% क्या होगा? 2% of the gross turnover. What will be the 2% or more of the gross turnover? 20,000 rupees. Suppose the total income of Mr. P is 10,000. So 20,000, 10,000 or 50 lakhs, whichever is higher. 50 lakhs. उसका इन दोनों में से whichever is lower, whatever income we are giving you, uska lower for the immediately 2 preceding years. If we are having any kind of monetary relationship out of these figures, then you cannot be appointed as the debenture trust. Not having pecuniary relationship means you should not be having any relationship of money. If you're having any relationship of money with the company, you cannot be appointed as the debenture trustee. Don't worry, Mustafa. Even if it is a PDF, then also you can read it, not to worry in that, okay? Okay, thank you, Harsh Mishra. I'll definitely try to do that as well. And I'm glad that you enjoy the lectures. That's wonderful. सबको समझ आ गया, डिबेंचर ट्रस्टी पे रिवाइज हो गया. Everybody has understood it. Clear? Section 101 notice, Section 102 explanatory statement, 103 क्या करा हमने 103 में, जल्दी बताओ. 103 में हमने आज क्या पढ़ा? प्रॉक्सी पढ़ा है कि कोरम पढ़ा है? यस, कोरम. सेक्शन 104 में क्या था? सेक्शन 104 में क्या था? चेयरमैन. क्लियर है सबको? बीच में हमने डिबेंचर ट्रस्टी की रिवीजन भी कर ली, जो कि हमने बड़े टाइम से सोचा था. सो दैट इज ऑल्सो डन. Now we are going to start with proxies, section 105. Okay, everybody is clear till here? Everything is clear? No doubts? Yes, Navneet, that provision we have already discussed, how many debenture holders can remove them, everything. That you can go carry it forward. And when I do deposits with you, again, once we'll touch base, deposits का भी same part आता है end में, जैसे हमने section 71. Clear? Shall we start? Go back to the proxies now. Now, what is the meaning of the word proxy? If a member physically himself is not present and he has sent somebody else to attend the meeting on his behalf, he is known as a proxy. So, any member of the company who has the right to vote at the meeting, he can appoint a proxy and he can ask him to attend and vote at the meeting. But the proxy will not have the right to speak at the meeting and shall not be entitled to vote also. So proxy cannot vote at the meeting. Proxy क्या नहीं कर सकता? Cannot vote. But in case of a poll demand, then he can vote. So there are different methods of voting also. Let me show you first the different methods of voting so that you understand what is the meaning of this word. So when we discuss the votings, there are different methods how you can vote. So it says vote by show of hands, vote by electronic modes, voting by poll, and voting by postal ballot. Voting by show of hands, you can see in the picture, everybody is raising their hands and deciding like you do in the class teacher, class leader who will be appointed. That is show of hands. Electronic means electronically you will press the button and you will cast your votes. Voting by polls means you will write the names in the sheets and you close it like you do in your elections. Poll demand hota hai and voting by poll. Postal ballot means you are sitting in your homes, A, B, C, D. They will be sent the postal ballot papers at home. They will cast their vote and send by post these back to the company. And accordingly, decision will be taken who has casted the vote in favor of. So section 10 to 110 totally tells about how the voting system which we have to follow. What are the various ways in which the shareholders can cast their vote. So proxy cannot vote here. Proxy cannot vote electronically. Proxy cannot vote by postal ballot. But if you are talking about demand for poll, which we do in the next class, section 109, here proxy can vote. Otherwise, he cannot cast his vote. समझ आया? So any member can attend, ask for the proxy, but proxy will not vote unless it is poll. Articles, subsection not having a share capital. Articles otherwise provide. So what it says, articles can also provide whether you have to have the proxy or not. Central government will decide the class of companies whose members shall not be entitled to appoint as a proxy. So CG can also exempt some certain companies which cannot appoint as a proxy. And a person will not be appointed as a proxy on behalf of members exceeding 50 and having the prescribed number of shares. Means for the 50 members, you can be appointed as a proxy, but not for exceeding 50. Means you cannot say that for 52 people, one person is coming as a proxy. So maximum for the 50 members, you can act as a proxy, not for more than 50 members for the company which is having a share cap. Company which is having Section 8 company कौन सी होती है? Charitable trust वाली company. They can appoint any other person as a proxy unless this also person is a member of the company. What does this mean? Rule 19 is very, very interesting. It tells you there is a member, Mr. A, B, and C. मैं एक normal company हूँ. I'm not Section 8 company. I said A cannot come. So A said Mr. D will come and attend on my behalf. So this proxy will not have the right to speak or vote, but yes, B, C, D, these three people will attend the meeting. But minimum 5 का quorum तो होना चाहिए ना. So we will have P, Q, other members also. So D can be appointed as a proxy. But there are 5 members, A, B, C, P, and Q. Now you're a Section 8 company. Now A cannot go. P, Q, R, 6 limit है company के members. So here A cannot appoint an outsider, Mr. D. A will say B will represent me. C, P, Q, R, ये 3 members आए हैं and proxy mark हो जाएगी A की through B. You have to be a member of the company to become a proxy in case of a Section 8 company. A person can act as a proxy on behalf of members not exceeding 50. 50 से ज़्यादा नहीं बन सकता. And they are holding in aggregate not more than 10% of the total share capital of the company. Now, this is very, very interesting. So there are 50 members who are holding 25% of the share capital of the company. You cannot be a proxy. There are 40 members holding 9% of the share capital of the company. In सबके लिए आप proxy बन सकते हो. Less than 10% of the share capital holding होना चाहिए and 50 से कम होना चाहिए. Not exceeding 50 means 50 or less than 50. Write it down. Means the condition is 50 or less than 50. Not more than 10% means 10% or less than 10%. Both the conditions are satisfied. Then you can be appointed as a proxy for this number of members. However, if a member is holding more than 10% carrying the voting rights, may appoint as a single person, then this member will not act as a proxy for any other share. This is amazing. He says 50 members plus 10% of the shareholding. And you appointed proxy Mr. P. ठीक है, कर सकते हैं. 50 मेंबर्स के लिए मिस्टर पी प्रॉक्सी ऐड करेगा क्योंकि ये 10% से ज्यादा होल्ड नहीं करते. बट एक शेयर होल्डर है मिस्टर ए who holds 25% of the share capital. And उसने कहा मिस्टर पी मेरा प्रॉक्सी एक्ट करेगा. मैं बोलूंगी मैम 25% वाले के लिए पी प्रॉक्सी एक्ट कर रहा है तो बाकी 49 मेंबर्स के लिए भी एक्ट कर लेते हैं जो लेस देन 10% कर रहे हैं होल्ड, उनके लिए एक्ट कर लूं प्रॉक्सी. The answer is no. If you are acting as a proxy for any shareholder who is holding more than 10% of the share capital, then you will only act as a proxy for that person. You cannot act for anybody else. But if you are acting as a proxy, maximum 50 members के लिए आप proxy add कर सकते हो, provided उनका 10% shareholding से ज़्यादा नहीं है. 55 आदित्य 55 क्या है? तो 55 के लिए नहीं कर सकते ना. यस नवनीत, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. प्रॉक्सी कोरम में कब काउंट होगा वो मैं आपको भी बताऊं. ठीक है. And the appointment of the proxy is done in form MGT 11, which I'll show you in today's class. So proxy is little detailed, which will need more time for grasping. So let's take a small 2 minutes break over here. Just read section 109, 105 from the study material and then we'll continue. So we are taking a 2 minutes break here. Sanket sir. Yes, students, are you back? Okay, let's complete proxies and then we'll go back to the study material also. I'll show you MGT 11 also in a while. Every notice which is calling the meeting of the company having share capital or the articles which provide for voting of a proxy, there should be a proper prominence statement that the member who is entitled to attend and vote to appoint as a proxy is allowed and proxy need not be a member. So every notice will also specify that whom have you appointed as the proxy and whether he is a member of the company or not. I just told you that if it is Section 8 company, then he has to be a member. And if it is somebody else, then you have to tell in the notice that he's not a member of my company. If you make a default, there is a simple penalty of 5,000 rupees. Now, children, I keep telling you for the penalties, whichever section we are doing, keep writing down on the post-its whatever penalties are related to those specific sections. Or on the first page of each chapter, you write down all the penalties as and when they keep coming with the section and stick it on the first page of every chapter so that just day before the exam, you can एक नजर मारना बोलते हैं ना जिसको पेनल्टीज को एक बार जरूर नजर मार लेना बिकॉज ऑल टुगेदर छोड़ने की जरूरत नहीं आई नो देयर सो मेनी पेनल्टीज बट इफ यू हैव नोटेड डाउन विद योर ओन हैंड राइटिंग रिटन डाउन समवेयर सो यू कैन जस्ट फ्लिप थ्रू द पेजेस जस्ट अ डे बिफोर द एग्जाम डिपॉजिट ऑफ प्रॉक्सी फॉर्म सो अब प्रॉक्सी जब अपॉइंट होता है ना वो एक फॉर्म भरेगा प्रॉक्सी फॉर्म 48 hours before the meeting he will fill this deposit form and before the meeting will be valid even if the articles provide for the longer period. So minimum time क्या है 48 hours पहले आपको अपना proxy form fill करके deposit करना है. Appointing a proxy shall be in writing and signed by the appointers and shall be duly authorized in writing. If the appointer is a body corporate, the instrument shall be sealed and signed by the officer duly authorized by the body. So I told you body corporates can also send a representative, so proxy can also be appointed. Invitation to appoint a proxy, one or more members. Special invitations are issued at the company's expense to any member who is entitled to send to him and vote by proxy. Every officer will give their permission. Officer is not liable if such issues is done at the member's request in writing. So otherwise, company is liable for the expenditures. Otherwise, if member is requesting, then the officer will not be held liable. MGT 11 is the form for appointing. Proxy will not be questioned if it fails to comply with the requirements. Every member who is entitled to vote. Now, this is important. ये समझने वाला. Every member who has the right to vote at the meeting or any resolution can come and inspect the proxy form. So now there was company ABC Limited. And whom have we appointed a proxy? Mr. P को मैंने proxy appoint करा है. अब ABC Limited में से जो members है A, B and C, we said ये है कौन Mr. P? किसका proxy है? I want to go and inspect. Can the members inspect the proxy? Yes, ma'am or no, ma'am? Yes, ma'am. They have full right to inspect the proxy. What time they can inspect the proxy? It says 24 hours before the time fixed for the meeting. And ending with the conclusion of the meeting, you can inspect the proxy anytime during the business hours. Provided at least 3 days notice in writing should be given that you want to inspect the proxy. So let's assume the meeting is starting on 14th March 2023 at 11 a.m. तो आप 3 days पहले notice भेजोगे. कब भेजोगे फिर आप? 11th March 2023 को आप नोटिस भेजोगे कि we want to come and inspect the proxy. Now, this is the time period. 11th March is the time period for sending the notice for the meeting. What is the time period when you can do the inspection? 24 hours before the time fix. So 13th March 11 a.m. से लेकर till the meeting is concluded on 14th March. So 14th March 6 p.m. तक आप मीटिंग में इंस्पेक्ट कर सकते हो who is the proxy. 14 hours before the time fixed for the meeting and ending at the conclusion of the meeting. You can inspect any time during business hours. What is the meaning of business hours? 9 to 6 is generally considered business hours. So you can come anytime at, ये नहीं आप कह सकते कि 11 AM से 14th March है तो मैं midnight में आ जाऊं 12 बजे रात को 12 AM 13th. No, that is not acceptable. You have to come during the business hours. So my question is, if the AGM is to be held on 3rd June 2023, when the notice should be sent for the inspection, and what is the time for inspection of the proxy? If the meeting is to be held on 3rd June, 11 AM and ends at 4th June, 4 PM. What is the date for sending the notice? Which example, Sakti, you have not understood? That 50 and 10%? Why I'm not getting your replies? Okay, Sakti. 31st May, Jaya Manocha says. Very good, Jaya. So 31st May तक notice जाना चाहिए. And time for inspection will be 2nd June 23, 11 AM till 4th June 23, 4 PM. Anytime, only business hours. लिख के रख लो बेटा ये. Okay, Sakti, I'll explain you that point once again. Prakriti, everybody, 31st May is correct, Manisha, but why are you not answering for the next one? Navneet is saying, please summarize in Hindi. हिंदी में बेटा इसका मतलब ये है कि 3 दिन पहले आपने जब प्रॉक्सी अपॉइंट करा 3 दिन पहले आपने नोटिस भेजना है सबको कि हम प्रॉक्सी अपॉइंट कर रहे हैं. अगर आपको इंस्पेक्शन करना है तो आके इंस्पेक्ट कर लो. तो मीटिंग के 24 घंटे पहले से लेकर जब तक मीटिंग खत्म नहीं होती किसी भी टाइम पर बिजनेस आवर्स में आकर कोई भी मेंबर आकर चेक कर सकता है कि आपने किसको प्रॉक्सी अपॉइंट करा. ओके. 3rd June, Prerna, are you sure? 24 hours before the meeting, बेटा 8 बजे के बाद ना आप लोग आंसर्स गलत देने शुरू कर थक जाते हो. Prerna, why did you say 3rd June? Tell me. 2nd June, बेटा 24 hours before the date of meeting. ये एग्जाम्पल पढ़ लेना आपको अच्छे से समझ आ जाएगा जो मैंने नीचे दिया. Clear? Okay, not a problem. If it was by mistake, then it's okay. Okay, let me explain that point to Sakti once again. So children, this is an important one where the proxy is being appointed. At least 50 members and 10% of the share capital if you're holding, then you can appoint the proxy for that particular members. But if you are yourself holding more than 10% of paid up share capital, and you have appointed the person as a proxy for yourself, then he cannot act as a proxy for any other person. Okay, so I told you there is Mr. A who is holding 11% of the share capital and you have appointed him, Mr. B, as his proxy. Can Mr. B be appointed as a proxy for anybody else? Yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am? Jaldi. Item Sethi, you say yes, no is the correct answer. Very good, very good. No. Sakti, so clear now? So Sakti, if Mr. A is having the share capital of 8% of the share capital and he is appointing Mr. B as his proxy, can now be Mr. B appointed as a proxy for somebody else also? Yes, up till 2% of the shareholding. Not more than 10% of the shareholding. Both the conditions are fixed. Okay, clear everybody now? So let me show you MGT 11 form. ओके, वेदांता लिमिटेड कंपनी का देखते हैं हम MGT 11 फॉर्म अपॉइंटिंग ऑफ द प्रॉक्सी. Jia Manucho, obviously they will send the intimation. Companies will intimate now that we are appointing in the proxy. That is how they will come through. So this is Vedanta company. This is form MGT 11, section 105 of subsection 6 and rule 19. Accordingly, you will appoint. You will write the Jia Manocha. See, this is the form that you will fill and circulate, right? Everybody will come to know that you have appointed as a proxy. Visible? Name of the member, registered address, email address, everything you will write. How many, if he is a member, how many shares he has been holding. Appoint the proxy and vote on behalf of 53rd General Meeting to be held on 24th August, 10:30 p.m. at this place, date, time, place, adjournment, everything is written. What are the resolutions that they're passing? Audited financial statements को देखना, dividend confirm करना, ये सारे क्या हैं? Ordinary business. Can you see the practical information? Director को appoint करना, reappoint करना is an ordinary business. To consider the reappointment of whole-time director, to reappoint this person as independent director. So all these reappointments they are doing, they're also doing special business. And this proxy form has to be completed and filled not less than 48 hours before the commencement of meeting. कहाँ पढ़ा हमने अभी ये? हमने पढ़ा अभी provision में 48 hours पहले आपने जमा कर देना. So here is your answer to this question. Okay, Harsh Mishra, don't worry. Proxy is confusing because it is little tough and the other things are little easy comparative. Okay. Let me show you from the study material also this point. Let's revise till what we have done. I'm not moving forward because then it will become too heavy for you. So appointment of proxy is a right of every member. Is this clear? हर member के पास right है proxy appoint करना. Proxy will not speak. He will only vote on the poll. Articles. Unless the articles otherwise provide, this subsection will not apply to a company having a not having share capital. Means अगर आप share capital नहीं रखते हो तो आपको applicable नहीं है and CG exempt कर सकते हैं. Not a very important information. Just leave. यहाँ आ जाओ. Section 8 companies. किसको appoint करेगी proxy? सेक्शन 8 कंपनी किसको अपॉइंट करेगी प्रॉक्सी? मेंबर को या नॉन मेंबर को? जल्दी चैट बॉक्स में बताते रहो. मेंबर को या वेरी गुड प्रेरणा, कुलदीप, एवरीबडी. यस मैम, मेंबर. गुड जया, मुस्तफा. No, all these forms, Mustafa, are available on the MCA website. You have to custom them and fill them as per the company's requirement. Good, Anubhav. Everybody is correct. Members will appoint. Members can only be appointed. Proxy will act. A person can act as a proxy on behalf of how many members? 40, 50, 60? 50 members. What is the other condition? Not holding more than 10% of the paid up share capital. If you are holding more than 10% of the share capital, then don't appoint that person as a proxy for anybody else. अब तो समझ आ गया ना ये वाला? Anybody still having any doubt? Raise your hands and ask. जिसको नहीं समझ आया, raise your hands. Adil, Deepika, Pooja B, very good, very good, very good. Linga R, excellent. Very good, Prem. Anubhav, very good. 2% वाला कुछ नहीं अनुभव, उसको छोड़ दो. बस 50 बंदे 10% से ज्यादा नहीं होंगे. ठीक है. क्वेश्चंस करोगे ना अभी इसके तो समझ आ जाएगा इजीली. A notice has to be sent having a share capital of the articles will provide, they will appear a reasonable statement that he has the right to vote at the proxy. So proxy appoint करेंगे. MGT 11 form आपने देख भी लिया. If the instrument is in writing and signed 48 hours before the meeting, अभी पढ़ा था आपने MGT 11 में 48 hours before the meeting, even if the articles provide, a proxy has to be received. Proxy form कितनी देर पहले भरना है. एक कंपनी थी ABC लिमिटेड, मीटिंग है 3 जून 23 को, उन्होंने प्रॉक्सी फॉर्म भर के दिया 2 जून 23 को. वैलिड है? नहीं, उन्होंने प्रॉक्सी फॉर्म भर के दिया 1 जून 23 को 6 बजे. मीटिंग थी 11 बजे. वैलिड है? वेरी गुड, सब तो समझ आ गया आपको. Everybody, it's just me, Linga. Linga, why did you say yes? Linga, read carefully. I said I'm sending the intimation at 6 p.m. Meeting is at 11 a.m. 48 hours कब होंगे? 1 June 23, 11 a.m. Good, understood now? Everybody has given the correct answers. तो समझ आ तो गया. जानबूझ कर बोलते हो, टफ लग रहा है. Every member entitled to vote or any resolution shall be. अब इसका भी कर लो एक बार रिविजन. इंस्पेक्शन कब तक होगा? 24 hours before the time fixed for the meeting and till the conclusion of the meeting you can come and inspect, but send the notice not less than 3 days. Inspection by any member can be made 24 hours before the time fixed till ending the meeting, can only be done during business hours. देखो आपको सिंपल वर्ड्स में बता भी दिया स्टडी ने. वो कह रहे टेंशन मत लो, मैम ने समझा दिया, हमने यहाँ लिख भी दिया. Every member entitled to vote or any resolution to be moved can inspect the proxies. ये inspection से related वाला. Heading बना लो inspection. 3 days का नोटिस देना है, ये मीटिंग का टाइम फिक्स है, बिजनेस आवर्स में करना है. अब जब सारा पढ़ लिया तो पेनल्टी भी पढ़ लो. 5,000 रुपीज की पेनल्टी है. For the purpose, invitation to appoint a proxy issued at the company's expense. ये अगली क्लास पे समझाऊंगी, इसको छोड़ दो. ठीक है, लास्ट पॉइंट छोड़ दिया है, सिर्फ लास्ट टॉपिक छोड़ दिया है ताकि आपको तसल्ली रहे कि अभी हमारा प्रॉक्सीज में कुछ पड़ा है. देखो उसके बाद वोटिंग शुरू. प्रॉक्सीज का देखो पीछे क्वेश्चन है, प्रॉक्सी का क्वेश्चन करके जाओ. जाने से पहले प्रॉक्सी का क्वेश्चन करो ताकि कॉन्फिडेंस रहना चाहिए हर चीज में. जो पढ़ा है, जो समझ आ गया, वो होना चाहिए 100%. MCQ वाले में था ना हमारे पास. Meanwhile, anyone has any doubt, I'm just opening the question for you. If you have any doubts, please feel free to ask. क्वेश्चन नंबर 10 करेंगे. बड़ी प्रेजेंटेशन है. A company received a proxy form 54 hours before the time fixed. Company refused, saying that the articles has provided that the proxy form should be filled 60 hours before the meeting. हमने क्या पढ़ा है? प्रॉक्सी आवर्स कितने टाइम पहले भरना है? 48 hours. हमने ये भी पढ़ा कि आर्टिकल्स cannot provide for the larger time, they can provide for the shorter time. तो क्या ये invalid है, valid है या invalid है? It's absolutely valid. Any member appointed 48 hours पहले भरना है shall be valid even if the articles provide for longer. They have filled 54 hours. Company refused to accept. In the said case, the requirement has been complied even if the articles provide for longer. Therefore, the proxy can compel the company to admit that proxy. So good. Now question seems easy than provision, Harsh. That means you have understood the provision. That's why the question seems easy. Otherwise, अगर आपको समझ नहीं आएगा तो आपको क्वेश्चन भी नहीं समझ आएगा. Yes, Jaya Manocha, they do the non-stop meeting. Obviously, they'll put a halt in between. But ऐसा होता है कि मीटिंग लंबी चले. Clear? 5 सेक्शंस करे हैं हमने आज मीटिंग्स के. सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट सेक्शंस हमारे 5-6 सेक्शंस रह गए. वो 111, 12, 13 बहुत इजी है, इसलिए घबराना नहीं है. मेन वोटिंग वाले एंड बाइंडिंग अप सेक्शंस रहते हैं, which we are going to take up on Wednesday and complete the topic. I hope you all enjoyed the session and you have understood. If you still have any doubts, you can ask me. Otherwise, yes, अनुभव कर लेंगे रिवाइज. Don't worry, इतनी टेंशन प्रॉक्सी की. Thank you, Shamli. I'm glad everything is clear. That's good. Thank you so much, Mustafa. Oh, that's so lovely to read your good wishes, Mustafa, and such nice lines. I'm glad you liked the energetic class, and I hope you will also study with the same energy and put it in your subject and syllabus. All right. Thank you, everyone. So well in time we have completed. Harivansh Kumar is asking for the WhatsApp link. Yes, Kuldeep, definitely. अजीत सर, एक बार व्हाट्सएप का लिंक भेज देंगे इसमें. संकेत सर, हाँ जी, व्हाट्सएप का लिंक मांग रहे हैं बच्चे, तो वो अजीत सर को बोलना भेज. हाँ, वो सर भेजते होते हैं, अजीत सर ग्रुप में डाल देंगे. All right, thank you so much, students. See you in the next class. Definitely, Jaya, once you are done with the syllabus, we will move to that. Thank you, Harsh Mishra. I'm glad that you find the motivation useful and you keep studying now, everyone. Thank you, everyone. P. Mujahid, Adil, everybody, Manisha, Lenga, everyone. Goodbye, students. Thank you, Prajapati. Thank you, Sakti. Everything clear? That's great. Thank you. Sir, we are done with the lecture. Thank you so much.
Recording stopped.